Relief, that's the word, the key word, the main word. Many were already fed up with Javier Mascherano in the Argentina setup. They wanted him out. They wanted him out for a long time. I'll be completely and utterly honest with you. Javier Mascherano's failed up. And when you have someone that fails up, it's usually an indication that he's not growing. It's just that he's in a favorable situation and he's put in favorable situations. Thus meaning in his mind that he's doing things right when he's not. Keep in mind, this is the same coach, the one that Inter Miami just hired, that didn't qualify out of South America for the Under-20 World Cup. What ends up bailing them out is that the venues changed to Argentina, thus making them the host nation. That, in his mind, makes him think and it revalidates or it vindicates him and saying, oh, we did things right because we qualified. No, you were just given the host nation because another country couldn't do it because one of the teams that was participating in that World Cup couldn't go into that country. That's all. And Argentina played like shit. A team filled with young players with a great deal of potential. One was bought by Manchester City. You have players that were being looked at by Liverpool and Manchester United and Real Madrid and so on and so forth. One of them, well, was going to play for Real Madrid. He ends up playing at Inter Miami. Doesn't make any sense, but well, that's it. Again, it's a case of the delusional. It's a case of oh, let's use artificial intelligence to find a coach. I'm not knocking technology. But you also have to have some, if you're a team that brags about how much football knowledge you have, and then you have to use artificial intelligence and don't have the people that understand the game giving you the right feedback, then something's wrong there. Again, it's not a knock on technology. No, I would like to be able to be a master at using artificial intelligence in the best manner possible. It helped me maximize in certain things in various facets of my life. But bragging about finding a coach on ChatGPT or whatever artificial intelligence platform, that's not something that, but it's that whole thing about trying to be more modern and about trying to change, which is something that is very common in the United States in soccer. Soccer is, we're going to change football. Look, I was told that. We're going to change football commentary. The fuck? What? We're going to be standing on our heads? We're going to be doing... I mean, how do you change that? How do you change a formula that's always worked when the people that do it are good? Now, if the people that are doing it are bad, then yeah, you have to talk about reinventing. Because then you have to try and adapt to certain things. Between reinventing and... Jorge Mas goes and says, we're going to replace Portugal, Inter Miami, are going to replace Portugal as the trampoline to Europe. So no longer are Boca, River, Flamengo, Sao Paulo, Palmeiras selling over to Porto or Benfica. So Benfica, Porto, Braga, all those teams, Sporting Lisbon, etc., give up. Don't, because Inter Miami's taking over. They're taking over what you're supposed to be. Oh no, don't hire scouts anymore. Don't hire people that know football. Apparently you're done. Not one question about defense. Not one question about how you're going to make the team stronger. Or what are the things that you need to get in order to make the team stronger for next year. Again, I have my issues with media in this country in terms of football coverage. I'd rather not get into that. And especially down here in South Florida. Too many fans, too many cheerleaders, not enough people really asking questions that are going to be able to advance the conversation a little bit more. Let's leave it at that. You have a coach in Javier Mascherano that you just hired, as I already said. failed at the under-20s. So what happens after that? He's the coach of the Olympic team. He's the coach of the under-23s. The under-23 side that barely scrapes into the Olympics. And then gets knocked out by France. And then loses in the group stage to Morocco in the most unbelievable of ways. Justly, unjustly, however you want to say it, they lost. It was an underwhelming team with players that are tremendous at the youth level. Again, Julio Soler was being looked at by Liverpool. You had Leandro Bray, who ends up being kind of removed. He was the goalkeeper during the Olympic qualifying. He was removed for Geronimo Rulli, who ends up basically being a goalkeeper with T-Rex arms. A team that just had no clue, and you looked at the roster and you start saying, damn, this team has potential to do some big things. Nope, nothing whatsoever. That was on Mascherano, because a lot of times you'll see Mascherano, he just didn't know what to do. He'd look and he'd be lost, and he's trying to make subs, and he's switching back lines, and he's bringing in a midfielder and taking a midfielder out and bringing a midfielder back in, and moving a player here and moving a player there and switching things all over the place, and just seemed lost. And this is with young players. And Leo Messi is someone whose patience runs thin. And if things aren't working out with Messi there, Messi's last year, maybe he'll stay one more year. Depending on how he feels. Most likely he will stay. I'm not sure. Like I said before, to me, Phil Neville was more prepared as a coach than Javier Mascherano. Phil Neville was more accomplished as a coach as Javier Mascherano. That should give you an indication as to what I think about Mascherano as a coach. As a player, there's no denying what he was able to do. As a coach, that's a whole different story.